Welcome back to the channel. We are in upstate New York, particularly Lake Champlain, at a Major League Fishing event, one of my off days. What's different about this event is they made this whole middle section of this 100-mile lake off limits. We're gonna go today, see what we're missing out on in this middle massive lake. I've never fished it before, so maybe it's like the best section of the lake. Who knows? We're gonna go find out.
From the top of the mountain.
So here's the deal, guys. You know, with Lake Champlain, you know, why am I able to be out here during the middle of this tournament? They put the whole middle section of this lake off limits. You know, to cover this sport, we only got 10 camera guys, and to let 40 guys loose over 100 miles, you know, 500 square miles of water. So they tried to narrow it down to really the best sections of the lake, which is the north end, the south end. But this, I don't know why. I want to know personally, if I ever come back here, does this middle section have fish that you can compete with? That, you know, I don't know. So that's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to try to determine what is in this middle section of this lake. I'm going to start off on docks, and that's something I want you to take from, you to take from this video. If you're watching this, you know, it's August, it's September. Fishing can be tough. And one of the biggest things that I fish in August and September when it's tough is a dock, because a dock has a resident bass. They live there year round, and I don't have to worry about that thermocline. I don't have to worry about that turnover. I don't have to worry about so many shad and all those things in a lake. This pattern that I hope to do today, it works anywhere that you have docks. We'll see, I don't know. I mean, heck, there might not be bass in this section, and it might have been the best deal ever, you know, not letting us fish this section of the lake, but we'll find out right here. Let's get after it. Let's get after it. Come on, let's go. Man, I would almost make the statement, if there's not a fish on this dock, we're probably not going to catch them on docks. This thing is big, it's lots of shade, it's on a point. I mean, it's everything I look for in dock fishing. I don't want to quite give up on docks yet, but this dock right here, it's as good as they get. Man, this is fishy looking. I'm just gonna say, we fished a really super awesome dock. I mean, if you look at this tree right here, that's a bass condominium. That's like a vacation to Hawaii. I'm beginning to wonder if there's fish in this section of the lake. There's got to be. Man, I don't know. I'm kind of scratching my head. You know, we fished I don't know, 15 docks down through there. We've thrown a topwater, you know, over some of this grass. You know, I see a big marina here, but I feel like if there was going to be bass in here, they'd be on these docks, to where the amount of time it'd take to fish that marina. I don't know. We're going to keep looking, but I'm kind of doubting it. So if they're not up here, they've got to be out here somewhere in this massive grass bed, I would think. We'll see. We'll keep looking. We're going to find them. Well, you know, I always try to talk about eliminating all the possibilities. We fished docks, we fished a little bit offshore grass. We got bulrushes. It's another possibility of where these fish could be. I'm still trying to stay shallow before, it's just a lot to try to cover when you get to them offshore beds. I'm gonna flip down through these, you know, bulrushes right here and just eliminate one more thing. One thing to take away from it, you know, I fished this section really fast, but I have found, like in bodies of water like this, well, just anytime, you have got to cover water. Like, yes, I could have missed a bass or two there, but did I miss a bunch of bass there? Absolutely not, going that fast. So remember, when you're looking for them like I am today, cover water. You know, I'm flipping every probably 30 yards or something down through there, just the high points, little mats, points, that kind of stuff. as I'm going down through there to cover water. I've got to figure these fish out, and I got to figure them out quick. Another great pattern when you're up here, you know, on the Great Lakes or big lakes like Champlain or up north in general, is fishing these marker buoys, you know, just that cable going down. It's something for those fish to relate to. I've caught both largemouth and smallmouth off these. You know, a lot of times they're on a point or some sort of structure, but we got to try one because we fished all that back in there with nothing, and maybe they're out here. I don't know. Process of elimination, so we're gonna keep looking. Hey, I got a bite, and it's a smallmouth. Ha Well, we came out here to fish the buoy, so then we didn't get a bite on the buoy, and we moved up on this flat deal. Maybe there's no largemouth in this section of the lake. I'm not done largemouth fishing yet. I'm gonna try a few little other bays over here that I saw on Google Earth. But right now I'm gonna catch this smallmouth and enjoy it. They pull so hard. I haven't retied since yesterday either, so I don't want to be overzealous with him. But man, he's stripping drag. Get up here, buddy. I am so glad you bit to get my day started. Yes, sirree. Oh! Dang it. He come off. Dang it. At least it's not tournament day. I'm gonna retie so I can pull a little harder. Oh. Yeah, that line's pretty frayed. But we got a bite. We know there's fish in this section of the lake. We eliminated that portion of it. I was beginning to wonder. I don't know, we fished probably an hour. Shallow, and I hadn't caught anything. The water's a lot, you know, it's not as clear as what I would consider most of Champlain in here. It's, you know, it's a really fishy looking color water, but you know, so much of the water that you fish on Champlain is really crystal clear, you know, unless you're way south or way north largemouth fishing. And then a lot of times that's pretty clear too, but this has got kind of a green tint to it. Here's what I'm doing wrong. I should be fishing up in the water column. I'm throwing a drop shot. I need to be throwing crankbait, a spy bait, something up a little higher. No doubt. Some days I try to make them bite that drop shot way too much. Hey. All right, guys, so here's what I did. I got to noticing on my active target, all the fish are up in the water column. And I feel like that is probably the biggest reason I struggle in August and September is because I fish beneath them. And, you know, we talked about this bait right here in my, you know, baits for August, and it's a spy bait. And, oh, get out of that grass. It's a nice one. Oh, there's a bunch with it too. Just amazing. Like, that was my second cast with that bait. When you just make the right adjustment and you figure out what you need to throw, I got to get up above them. I got to get, you know, above the water column. Yeah, I had a bite on that drop shot, but that fish swam down to it. It's all about being in the right water column that the fish are wanting to feed in. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I love these things. I love them. I love them. These are the best fish in the world. All right, so we figured the smallmouth out 100%. I tried to swim bait just a little bit. I didn't like my color. It was too bright. It was a white one. I think they would bite this. I think they would bite like a 6 to 10 foot diving crankbait. If it slicked off, they'd bite a topwater. You could get them to go ahead and come up to the top. And I've got 6-pound leader on this thing. I just don't want to put too much on him, and it's got little bitty hooks. Come on, buddy, get in here. Get out of that grass and get in here. Get in here. Come show yourself to the world. Oh, they're beautiful fish. They are beautiful fish. Looky here. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? Look at that thing. He choked it too. He got both hooks in him. Oh, it's a beautiful fish. All right. All right. Thanks, bud. Gave us a little splash. All right, let's do it again. I feel like this is a little slow for him. I know I caught a fish on it a few casts ago, but I'm seeing some other fish. I think I need to try a jerkbait. Something just a little bit faster. Get those fish to react. Wow, they are being some kind of stingy. They're just not biting. There's fish all around down there. I just can't get them to bite. There's one. Oh, that's a nice one. We got him to bite the crankbait. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it. Oh, golly. Oh, hold still, buddy. Yes, sir. All right, right there. Got him to bite the old crankbait. We got him hooked about 3 different ways. When fishing a crankbait up north, you know, it's really important to pick a crankbait that runs above what you're fishing. You know, we've preached and talked about, you know, always picking a crankbait that runs a few feet deeper than where you're fishing when we're down south. You know, those fish down there are lateral line feeders, meaning they feel the vibrations of their prey through their lateral line because the water's so dingy. When you get up north, when you got this clear water, largemouth, smallmouth, they're both sight feeders. So pick a crankbait that runs 4 to 5 feet above the bottom, or 4 to 5 feet above your grass, or 4 to 5 feet above the fish that you see. Any of those 3 scenarios, I want that bait to be above them. I don't want it running through them. I don't want it running below them. So like right here, I've got a dredger 10-5, just a yellow perch, and I've got grass that's, you know, 14 to 20 feet deep out here. You know, the ledge kind of breaks off, and I'm bringing this bait above everything. You know, the grass is here, the fish are right here on top of the grass, the bottom's down here. So I'm bringing this bait above all that because those fish want to come up and eat it. If I was bringing the bait hitting the grass, I'm below those fish. You don't ever want to do that when you're up north. It's one of the opposites to what you would think when choosing a crankbait. Choose one that's above what you're fishing. It's a must up here. What is that? That's what I'm seeing down there. Finally, it was a walleye. I was like, there's so many more fish down there than I'm catching, and that explains it. That was a big old walleye, a big one. It just explains, you know, there's just a lot more fish here than I've caught, and they just won't react to my bait. You know, I'll throw a bait out there past it, and if it was a smallmouth, a lot of times they'll like dive after it, you know, they'll chase it, and you know, I've come right through them and they just won't react. You know, a walleye is kind of sometimes very lethargic. You know, if we had a can of earthworms, or I don't know what you fish for with a walleye, we'd get us a mess of them right here though. But that makes me feel better. Makes me feel better. I wish I'd have caught him, because I promise you I would have ate him. I'd have made old Rut Daniels, I'd have made him proud. Like, I would have cut the loins off that thing. He's funny. All right, so we fished that point right there. We spent, I don't know, 45 minutes here, a lot longer than I normally would have, you know, practicing for a tournament, but, you know, just trying to really figure them out, because I don't have a lot of area here, a lot of miles of lake that I can cover. You know, I'm kind of like in this smaller section, but we figured out those fish are up in the water column. We figured out there's a bunch of walleye there. And we haven't caught a largemouth yet. You know, we fished a lot of largemouth looking stuff, but I'm not done with them. I am going to try a few more things to try to catch a largemouth. So we'll see. so far there's some fish in this section. I wouldn't say it's like on fire good, but they're good ones, you know, 3.5 pounders. So we'll keep after it, keep after it. Oh. God, that was a big one. That was a monster. That was huge. I thought it was another walleye. Holy smokes, that's why I didn't pull on it very hard. Golly, that was a giant. That was like a 5-pounder all the way. I thought it was a walleye, it was so big. Dang it. Golly, it's a big one. That is a monster. Oh my goodness. Golly. Oh, that's fun, guys. I know I said I was going largemouth fishing just because I am. I'll still go. I just wanted to catch 1 or 2 more. So we just moved out. We just moved out to the very next shoal. It's quite a bit deeper. It's 18 feet on top with the grass coming up about 6-7 feet. And we had a really big one follow my jerkbait up and hit it right at the boat. I thought it was a walleye. And I turned back around just kind of to show that fish. I don't know if it's the same fish or not, but you know, whenever you get a bite, super important to waypoint, lock down, whatever you got to do, because there's generally more fish. That's just a rule. With a smallmouth, if there's one, there's always 2. Always, always, always 2. And I threw that spy bait out there and got this big behemoth. By far the biggest one of the day. It's a big old fish right there, guys. That is a big fish. I just get so nervous. Them little bitty hooks, I think it's a number 8 on that spy bait, you know. Yep, just take your time, Edwin. Take your time, Edwin, take your time. Come here, big girl. Come here, you big old girl. I'm amazed, you know, the portion of Champlain that I fished yesterday in the tournament, water's a lot clearer. I mean, this water here, I mean, it's clear obviously, but for up north standards, it's not that clear. I feel like I've got 7 or 8 foot of visibility, where up there where I was fishing yesterday, heck, I got really good visibility. You know, 10, 12, 15 feet. Come here, buddy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Gotta keep your line off the boat. That's where they'll break you off right here. Oh, and now we're down to 1 hook. I had 2 in it when it first come up. I do all those turning. I gotcha, I gotcha, I gotcha, I gotcha. Look at that one. Oh, I got a hook in my finger. That is a big one. That is a big one. That is a big one. That's a 4.5 pounder all day long, if not bigger. Where are my pliers? I'm trying to be so careful. That fish is old. You know, that's probably a 10, 12-year-old fish minimum. All right, look at that fish. Woo! Yes. All right, big girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There she goes. Sweet. Yes. All right, I gotta come clean, guys. I gotta come clean. I know this spy bait catches fish, but these, like, I haven't caught a lot of fish on it, so I'm kind of learning as we go here. You know, this is the heavy. Berkeley makes 2 different versions. This is the Spy 70 Fast Sink, and I'm basically just throwing that out there and counting to 1 or 2 and then reeling it. I feel like that bait is getting 7, 8 feet deep, but I might become a spy bait fisherman before this is all said and done. Sweet. Deadly bait when they're suspended like that. Deadly, deadly, deadly. There's one. Golly, these are good ones on this spot. I mean, good ones. I have found on that drop shot, man, the less you can move it, the more bites you can get. Like, it's just crazy. Golly, I don't know what I got. It's big, whatever it is. I was just holding it dead still. I've seen just lots of fish on this thing and I can't get them to react. Like normally smallmouth, you pitch something past them, it's competition. Today I hadn't got them to react. I don't think this is a smallmouth. It hasn't jumped. And it explains why I can't get them to react. It might be though, we did catch one just 50 yards that direction. He's doing whatever he wants to do, I can tell you that. Come on, I just want to see you. I think it's a drum. Yeah, it's a great big drum. Man, my heart sunk for a second because it's a really brown drum. And that explains it. That's what I'm seeing down there. Huh. Hey, it takes talent to catch a drum on a drop shot. Now, anybody can catch a drum on a tube. It takes talent because that drop shot's up above that drum. That drum normally is eating on the bottom. All right, we're gonna put some heat on him. Come here, dude. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one. It's a big one. Oh. Big old drum. Come here, dude. I just want my hook back and my weight. Come here. Open that gill. Open that gill plate. God, I had you for a split second. I had you for 2 split seconds. Quit. You're making this a lot harder than it needs to be. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, got him. Big fish. Look at the size of that thing. Thanks, buddy. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Those things are dadgum showstoppers, get you so upset. You think you're catching big smallmouth and on big smallmouth and dadgum drum. I don't know what to say about it. We caught him though. All right guys, so let's take this time to do the power stop breakdown. You know, we lost that first good fish this morning on that drop shot right there. That's just a max scent natural shad. Yeah, who'd have figured max scent. Smallmouth killer right there. But 6'9" medium action, Johnny Moore's platinum rod, a platinum reel, really a good setup. I got 10-pound yellow braid. Some of them I've got green on just because I ran out of yellow. 8-pound leader, 1/4 ounce weight right there. Just to get into a few other things, we did catch one really nice one on that dredger, just a 10.5 dredger in yellow perch, got 10-pound Bass Pro fluorocarbon. That's a 7.6 medium action rod. And I just got a 6/8 to 1 gear ratio reel on that. Let's see, we caught a really nice one on this bait. A couple nice ones actually. On the old spy bait. That's the Berkeley's spy bait. It's got 2 little propellers on the front and back. I went ahead and put that on 8-pound test, a 6.9 medium light rod, just actually 7.1, I'm sorry, 7.1 medium light just to help keep me from pulling those hooks out. Again, 10-pound braid. That's a little bit bigger reel. I didn't plan it like that, but that's like a size 2 reel and an 8-pound fluorocarbon. So that right there. Oh yeah, I did catch some on this one right here too. I forgot about this. The new Stunna, the Berkeley jerkbait. It's a Stunna. I went to that shallower diving version. I had a white one with a deeper bill. I went to that and actually had some bites on that, and Very first cast had a big walleye on it. But I rigged that rod, that bait always on a 6.9 medium action rod, 10-pound test, and a high-speed reel. That's critical. So that's my setup, guys. I am going to make a move. So we're back here. I've made a move, wanted to come back in this bay, you know, kind of where this river comes in, and it is muddy. It's like just dirty water. And in my opinion, I feel like I'm gonna stick with clean water when I'm up north with generally clear water lakes. I don't know if it's from a rain event. The lake's low, you know, the lake's a couple feet low, so keep moving, keep moving. Holy smokes. I'm sitting there working on my depth finder, trying to get my ranges right. There's no telling how long that bait had been sitting there. Man, it got clear. I just wanted to fish a few of these main points down through here just to see if there's any fish. And there's one. There's one. He's not very big. Golly, it's a beautiful lake. I mean, it is a beautiful lake. Thanks, buddy. You know, I'm trying to practice a little bit for this place in case I ever come back. Just thinking outside the box. I was thinking, well, let's pull up on this bluff. It's got shade. If I was a bass, I'd hang out on this bluff. Get out of that summer heat. Interesting. I stopped here to idle into this bay. There's one dock, you know. I feel like if there's largemouth in here, they'd have to be on this dock. So we're just gonna give it a shot and see what happens. I'm wanting to find largemouth in this section of the lake. I'm trying really hard. Hadn't happened yet. We hadn't been here but a few hours, what, 3, so my day's getting short. I don't have a lot of more time out here. I got to get back, get my tackle ready for the next day of competition, but I sure like to catch a largemouth before I go. Oh, there's even lily pads back here too. Got to be a largemouth. Got to be. No. We got something, just not very big. It's a smallmouth. It is a small, yeah, it's a smallmouth. I've got a bay full of grass, lily pads, and one dock, and it's a smallmouth. I don't like that. I don't think, there's got to be largemouth through this section of the lake. Come on. Hey, it's a largemouth. It's a largemouth. There are largemouth here. Yes, I caught a largemouth. I caught one. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Not a big one, but I caught one. That's what we came after. I wanted to fish both. I wanted to catch both of them today. See if there's another one. It's one thing about docks. If you have an isolated dock, don't ever pass it up. Ever, ever, ever. Well, Edwin. Largemouth, just not very big. Not very big. There's got to be good largemouth in this section of the lake. I mean, you got everything. I don't know. I don't know. And I love that colored fishing line because, man, I can just see it. It's like a bobber, you know. I just lay that line on the water, and when it jumps or takes off, I know I got a bite. All right, here's my thinking on this. You know, there's one dock, there's 2 floating boats. If there was a big population of largemouth, they'd be in one of those 3 spots. I'm not saying there's not the mother lode in here, but you know, like if I'm kind of approaching today as a practice day in a tournament, I'd probably eliminate it pretty quick because I wouldn't take the time to fish all this. There may be a big group of them. I'm gonna check one more area is all I got time for, and then I gotta hit the road. So little old river comes in right over here. I just kind of want to go look at it and see what happens. But we did catch a largemouth. I didn't see that on the way in. It would be un-American if I passed up a beaver hut. Wow. I mean, in my opinion, you could base this whole section right here on that beaver hut right there. If you don't catch a fish off that, there's not bass in here. I mean, that's not right. Yeah, I guess somebody could have fished it right before me, but still you would just think there'd be multiple fish, not just one, but multiple. And I didn't get a bite on it. Wow. All right, guys. My day is like, I gotta go. I mean, I have to go get my stuff ready to compete tomorrow. Had a lot of fun. You know, if I was to fish this section of the lake in a tournament, it'd be smallmouth. I just have not seen a largemouth population that I would want to compete in. Caught some really nice smallmouth in the short amount of time that we did it. We really spent a lot of our day trying to catch largemouth, and it just didn't happen. We fished all those docks, those grass bays, and all that stuff, and just caught 2 little largemouth. But had a lot of fun today, a neat section of Champlain. I'm glad I came down here just to fish a section of it that I never have. I've been here probably half a dozen different times through my career fishing tournaments, and I've always fished way down there or way up there, but what a beautiful lake. I appreciate you guys following along, and we will see you next week right here on Project E. Thank you.